Hi everyone, it is Atia here, Booking with Atia, and today we are getting into a book haul. I'm going to be sharing the books that I both purchased during the month of June and was sent during the month of June. So a little bit a mix of sources, if you will. Before we get in, I do want to encourage you to check out my Bonfire as well as my Etsy shop to get yourself some merch or some bookmarks. And if you like to support the channel on a monthly basis, you might want to consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon member. We're going to start with the books that I bought myself, just like a little summertime treat, if you will. Some of these were bought new and some, well, I think one of them I got from Pango Books. I had some Pango books I had some money in my account selling some books. I do sell books on Pango Books. And I didn't realize this, but all of the books I bought are romances, starting with a trio of Beverly Jenkins. I'm trying to collect her works, especially these older covers, before they go out of print. And the first one we have is Jewel. This one is a best friends to lovers, and it's also a fake dating and fake dating. It's a marriage of convenience type thing. For some reason, Eli and Jewel have to get married, and for some reason, it says that though Eli Grayson is one of the most handsome, charming, and intelligent men in Grayson Grove, no one will take a chance on a confirmed bachelor. Interesting. Unwilling to give up his dream, Eli convinces his friend Jewel to pose as his wife. Do they actually get married? Oh, okay. Their masquerade is to last just one night, but when word gets out, Eli and Jewel must tie the knot to save his career and her reputation. Beverly Jenkins is one of my favorite romance authors, so I'm sure it's going to be incredible. And the next one I have from her is Wild Sweet Love. I absolutely adore this cover. And this one says, she's an unrepentant outlaw out to steal his heart. Brazen and beautiful Teresa July was the most wanted woman in the West until the law caught up with her. Now she's paroled to a wealthy Philadelphia society matron. If Teresa can stay out of trouble for a year, she will return to her beloved West. But trouble's going to be hard to avoid now that she's met the matron's breathtaking Black Adonis of a son. Okay. Well then. And the last one I have is Always and Forever from Beverly Jenkins. Sassy Grace Atwood Grace. I feel like, okay, yeah, I've met these characters in Topaz, which I recently read. Yep. Okay, this is going to be great because I already kind of like know about their dynamic. So sassy Grace Atwood never expected to find her proper self accidentally tumbling into a stranger's bed. If she weren't desperate for a man to lead a wagon train of brides to a woman-starved town out west, she never would have gone near Jackson Blake, a former lawman or not. She should send the regularly charming Texan packing, only he's perfect for the job. Now if her mind would just stop going blank every time she looked at him, they might get this train to Kansas yet. Wait a minute. This can't be, because in Topaz they have to go on this wagon train with these brides, and it's Grace and Jackson. So I'm wondering, is this that same adventure told from a different perspective, like with a different romance? So wait a minute. Okay, I was already excited, but now I'm even more excited. Then the next romance we have is Score by Kennedy Ryan. I do own Real. I own the one with the original cover. And this is the second book in it's the Harlem Renaissance romance. What's this series name? Hollywood Renaissance. There we go. So it says, you never forget your first love. Isn't that what they say? Verity Hill knows the truth immediately. She didn't simply miss Wright Monk Bellamy when they parted ways in college. She's haunted by his touch. Every kiss any lover sends is a shadow of what they had. Time heals all wounds, is not what they say. Monk doesn't believe that for a second chance. He wasn't simply betrayed when he and Verity split. He was devastated, with parts of him left behind in the ruins of all that was destroyed. More than a decade after their disastrous breakup, Verity and Monk must work together on the set of an epic Harlem Renaissance biopic, with Monk, now a world-class musician, creating the score, and Verity, an award-winning screenwriting, penning the script. There's Oscar buzz before shooting even begins. This once-in-a-lifetime project could catapult them both to new heights, but can they put the past behind them for the sake of the film, for the sake of something more? Then we have The Redo List by Denise Williams, another one of my favorite romance authors, and it says, what would you do with a second chance at your first time? Following a bad breakup, Willow Lewis tackles a redo list with the help of her brother's best friend in this sweet and sexy new romance from US Today bestselling author Denise Williams. Okay, this is gonna be great. I can't wait. And then we have the only YA that is in this little like mini section of books that I bought, and that is Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling. I finally have all of Elise Bryant's young adult books. I absolutely love her young adult books, and I loved this book. I really did. Hence why I bought it for my collection. I listened to the audiobook, so I need to go through and annotate it up. Very, very excited to finally have this. And this is one that I got off of Tango Books. And also the cover is just so beautiful and everything. I love it. All right, moving on to the books that I was sent to the side. I did not organize it by publisher. Honestly, I just brought the bag upstairs and started filming. So we have Doe by Rebecca Barrow. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I love the cover. I've been anxiously waiting to get this in my hands since I heard about it. And it says Maurice Larson, captain of the West Eton High cheer team, has only one goal in life: to be the best. When she's leading the girls on the mat, Maurice is invincible. She doesn't have to think about her dead in life and a dead in town. She can forget about her depressed mother and absent father and the fact that her girlfriend doesn't really love her. But when Coach's new golden girl, Genevieve Ray, joins the team, the only thing that matters to Maurice is being stripped away. Maurice is determined to take Genevieve down at any cost. The knife she'll wield comes to Maurice in her dreams. While sleepwalking, Maurice is visited by a monstrous, decaying beast in the shape of an enormous deer. Doe is an ancient, tired creature who has been wandering trapped in her current form for decades. She cannot die, but she cannot go on living as she has. Only a girl related by blood to those who bound her in this form can free her. But those girls Dove loved died years ago, murdered in a fire. Maurice, though, is somehow linked to Doe's beloved girls, linked by blood, giving Maurice the ability to free Doe and unleash her immense power. Maurice doesn't know the creature from her dreams is real. Maurice only knows Doe has promised her a way to defeat Genevieve. But for Maurice to win, someone has to die. And the only real winner in the end will be Doe. A chilling, twisted tale told in propulsive verse. Oh my gosh. Rebecca Barrow's Doe charts new blood-soaked ground for horror fans, where the line between girl and feral beast completely disappears. Okay. And this one was sent to me by Penguin Teen, so thank you to them. Then, funny enough, we have another book that isn't mail. I bought this and it got separated from the rest of it. And it is another Kennedy Ryan, and that is The Rebel King. This is in the Kingmaker series, book 2. I already have the Kingmaker. So I'm actually, is this about, yeah, I'm not going to read the back because I'm pretty sure that series follows the same, yeah, it follows the same characters. So I'm not going to read the back. But look at that cover. I need to get the third one. And this one I actually bought off of Pingle Books as well. Next up, we have 2 books of the same series. And this was sent to me by Tor. We have Sweep of Stars by Maurice Broaddus. And then the second book in the Astra Black series, which is Breath of Oblivion. And there is a third book. I believe it comes out in July. It's not already out, but I think it comes out in July. And so I'm going to read the synopsis of the first book for you. Maurice Broaddus's Sweep of Stars is the first in a trilogy that explores the struggle of an empire. Epic in scope and intimate in voice, it follows members of the Muungano Empire as it faces an escalating series of threats. Beauty in blackness is its ability to transform. Like energy, we are neither created nor destroyed, nor many try. West African proverb. The Muungano Empire strived and struggled to form a utopia when they split away from old Earth, freed themselves from the endless wars and oppression of their home planet in order to shape their own futures and create a far-reaching coalition of city-states that stretch from Earth and Mars to Titan. With the wisdom of their ancestors, the leadership of their elders, and the power and vision of their scientists and warriors, they charted a course to a better future. But the old powers cannot allow them to thrive and have now set in motion new plots to destroy all that they've built. In the fire to come, they will face down their greatest struggle yet. Amachi Adisa and the other young leaders will contend with each other for the power to galvanize their people and chart the next course for the empire. Bayla Buhari and her elite unit will take the fight to regions not seen by human eyes, but no training will be enough to bring them all home. Stacia Chikeke captain of the starship Cypher, will face down enemies across the stars and within her own vessel as she searches for the answers that could save them all. The only way is forward. I need to bump this up on my list. I was already interested in it. I kept picking out on Libby, but I most definitely need to bump this up on my list, especially because it's about to be, if it's already not, a completed trilogy. Thank you. Big shout out to Tor for these two. Keeping along with Tor, we have Wickhills by Premee Mohamed. Look at this cover. Isn't this absolutely stunning? And this one says, in the dangerous magical city of Wickhills, a streetwise secret agent is tasked with protecting a foreign defector from his pursuers, even at the threat of war. Looking after a defecting scientist should have been Frederick's easiest mission, but now he's on the run from the intelligence agency he works for, dodging a handler who might have gone rogue and relying on a secret patchwork of illicit resources and dodgy contacts. Turns out his defector might be carrying an apocalypse-level magical weapon, and protecting it requires Frederick and his team to go underground, literally. Down here, the rules are very different, and the tense peace between every city in the world will shatter unless Frederick can drag their darkest secrets into the light. This is how you write a synopsis, especially for a fantasy book. This is just a paragraph. It's just a paragraph. And honestly, that's all you needed. I'm intrigued, deeply intrigued, and I really want to read this before the year is up. Hopefully, maybe during art caucus. Yeah, that's an idea. Then we have 3 from Simon Teen. The first one being The Silver Kingdom by Radiya Hafiza. And this one says, the Savior will lead an army to the gates of darkness. Only when the fire has fallen can light prevail. Prince Zaid, heir to Dakaria, the Silver Kingdom, spends his days defending the land from pirate raid. Princess Layla, heir to Sawan, dreams of running away and escaping her cruel, power-hungry mother. When the two meet, sparks fly. But the royals are destined to marry other people, and tensions between their kingdoms are high. As dark forces begin to threaten Dakaria, a centuries-old prophecy is set in motion. Layla discovers she has a latent power one she doesn't understand and begins to fear since magic has been forbidden in the land for 100 years. Could Layla be the key to uniting the kingdoms, or will the young royals' forbidden love plunge them all into a devastating war? And that is The Silver Kingdom. Then next up from Simon Teen, we have another fantasy. This is The Queen of the Spirit Woods by Sharon Choe. Very cool cover. Mireille has a dangerous secret. She has faked her way into a job as a royal kitchen maid with the hope of sending money to her family. But the palace is in an uproar after a recent assassination attempt on the king, and Mireille nearly gets fired after inadvertently getting in the crosshairs of Jay, the prickly crown prince, during his investigation. Her position gets even more precarious when a chance encounter with a witch in the mysterious spirit woods makes her the vessel of 10,000 spirits and deities. When her new powers spill out into the palace kitchen, Wanshik, a kind nobleman, lends a helping hand, and soon Mireille finds herself embroiled in a power struggle between the queen and Wanshik's best friend, Prince Jay. With the help of a fellow kitchen maid and a meddlesome ghost, Mireille must untangle the web of lies to find the traitor within the palace. But an encroaching threat from the empire to the east looms ever closer, and the palace is rife with lies and shadowy alliances. Who can Mireille trust? This sounds like it's going to be excellent and juicy, and I don't think it's the start of a series, so this is like a solid standalone. That would be great. That would be like excellent. Then the last book from Simon Teen, another fantasy. I feel like we're seeing a pattern here, and that is Blood of Silver by Allie and Nguyen. Lynn's mother was buried just this morning, and the guests are already clinking their glasses. At the funeral, Lynn is visited by a strange boy who hints at secrets about her mother's past and urges her to follow him. Desperate to learn more about her mom and intrigued by this boy who stirs vague memories from her childhood, Lynn is thrust into another world, a realm governed by 6 ancient magics: light, fire, earth, water, nature, and space, where the mysterious boy, Elior, happens to be crown prince. Here, Lynn learns that her mother was a space mage and a princess who defended the kingdom from vicious demons by sealing the portal they came through, which sounds a lot like the TV show Witch, which I loved. Now the seal is weakening, and the king believes Lynn possesses the same space magic that can prevent the portal from reopening. Just when Lynn hatches a plan to help the kingdom and get back home, somebody enters her into the annual tournament at the Academy for Mages, and this year it's deadlier than ever before. As Lynn's power grows, so too does her suspicion. Caught in a web of court intrigue and a dangerous attraction to the prince, Lynn must fight for her own survival or surrender to the monsters that might be closer than she thinks. Once again, big shout out to Simon Teen for these three gorgeous and absolutely intriguing YA fantasy. And I should mention that those three books from Simon Teen, because I'm like horrible at telling you guys release dates, these all come out in November of 2026. And Wickhills comes out in September. So just keep that in mind when you're going to add it to your list if you want to pre-order it from your library or your local bookstore. Next up, we have The Broken Hearts Agency by Clarence A. Haynes. This one is from Legacy Lit, so thank you so much to them. And this book actually released in June, and it says the evil force is feasting on desire. Evelyn Kendricks is having a day. An overworked manager, she's been dumped by her toxic boyfriend while struggling to cope with the recent ghost invasion that's shocked the world. Devastated, she is mysteriously summoned to an eerie townhouse where she meets Linda Villanueva, a private investigator who runs a secret mystical detective agency. She's able to sense the emotions of others, especially those suffering from heartache. Linda would like nothing more than to help her latest client, but she soon makes a gruesome discovery. People are losing their memories and wandering DC streets in a zombie-like daze. Their eyes demon red, their skin blistered, burning, and no one understands why. It has begun to consume the city as more folks succumb, putting Evelyn and the other residents at risk. In the biggest case of her life, Linda follows a trail of clues that unearth an evil force far deadlier than anything she could have imagined. And all the while, she must reckon with the tragedies of her past and the price she's paid for her supernatural gifts. A layered urban fantasy that serves up spicy romance, titillating mystery, and otherworldly horror, The Broken Hearts Agency is the latest page turner from an acclaimed storyteller. And this is actually the same author who wrote The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery, which I read, I think, sometime last year and really enjoyed it. So I am very much looking forward to this one. Then we have Everything's Not Lost by Frederick Douglass. And this one was sent to me by Penguin Teen, and it comes out October of 2026. I don't give an exact date, but sometime October. As a 16-year-old Black girl with bipolar disorder, Ella Washington has plenty stacked against her. But following her beloved sister's unexpected death and its turbulent aftermath, Ella is desperate to find any sense of normalcy. Worse still, someone at her school is determined to drive her deeper into despair. It feels nearly impossible to find her way out of the fog of grief and loneliness, but through her love of art, some unlikely new friends, and memories of her vivacious sister, Ella slowly learns that the pursuit of happiness is an endeavor that is more than worthwhile. Told in Frederick Joseph's perceptive and lyrical voice, Everything's Not Lost is an achingly relatable story about finding points of light even in the darkest of times. And this, honestly, I really love the simplicity and the beauty of this cover and everything about it. It's just really chef's kiss. It really works. And once again, this is Everything's Not Lost by Frederick Joseph, and it comes out in October. The next book we have is another YA horror, and that is Funerals Are for the Living by Sami Ellis. Thank you to Abram Books for sending this to me. And it says, Junie would call herself her sister's keeper if her sister wasn't already dead. A month ago, Junie Daniels was in a car crash that left her with a dead sister, fragmented memories of the accident, and a mother too checked out to plan a funeral. The cheapest burial plot Junie can find is in the next town over. Sure, Williamsville is still proudly named after a slave master who was rumored to dabble in dark magic, but this is North Carolina after all. When Junie and her best friend Omari visit the grave, unexplained occurrences start happening. Flowers wither as soon as they're planted, a bird falls dead on the headstone. The more Junie and Omari investigate and learn about Williamsville's history, the stranger their lives get. And it's not long before they're taken. Williamsville wants both Daniel's girls, but Junie will do anything to protect her sister, even if it's only her corpse. What the hell? I mean, this is about to be quite interesting. And this is Funerals Are for the Living by Sami Ellis. I'm pretty sure this is already out. And if not, it's coming out in July, but I'm fairly certain that this has already been released. The last book we have is actually a nonfiction, and it is The Problem with Pretty by Dr. Allycin Powell-Hicks. This was sent to me by Legacy Lit, so thank you once again to them. And it says Beauty Bias and the Surprising Science of Good Looks. What is beauty? Who gets to determine what is beautiful? What happens when you fall outside of beauty norms? Most of us have been tricked into believing beauty is about how we look, but Dr. Allycin Powell-Hicks reveals that the real problem isn't your appearance, it's how you're trained to see it. Blending science-based research and personal experiences, The Problem with Pretty dismantles beauty myths from their roots and dissects what it really means to be beautiful. She exposes how our brains take shortcuts, latching onto tiny visual cues and filling in the rest with socially constructed ideas that have nothing to do with reality. The Problem with Pretty rewires how we perceive beauty. Drawing on women's stories, Dr. Allie breaks down the biases that shape our self-worth. She sheds a much needed light on the systems that profit from our insecurities, as well as how understanding our lineage can help us reclaim our power. With humor and her signature straightforward style, Dr. Allie offers the practical tools you need to stop chasing pretty and start living free, whole, and connected to who you really are. And it's not a long book at all. And I love the simplicity of the cover, but I'm very much looking forward to reading this at some point this year. And that is it. Thank you so much to all of the publishers for sending me these advanced reader copies as well as finished copies. And if you're interested in like getting a copy for yourself, make sure to check out my make sure to check out my bookshop.org link. If you go through my affiliate link, you actually are helping me. I get a little bit of a kickback from that, so that's always awesome. Let me know if any of these books catch your eye. Did you already know about some of them? Were you already planning on reading or acquiring them? And what are some upcoming summer releases that you are interested in? Make sure to check out my bonfire as well as my Etsy shop to get yourself some merch and some bookmarks. And if you're interested in supporting the channel on a monthly basis, you might want to consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon member. And I will see you in another video. Bye!
Weakness showing, I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man, I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo, got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me, I'm